All right, let's take a look at how to play the snake walk or the bridge from Dancing in the Streets. All right, now we're going to start out coming out of the solo with that that kind of rhythmic figure. And whenever you give the signal to your bandmates, okay, that kind of thing. Now that's Bobby's bit. Don't think that this is on one. It's not. Bob's bit is on the, it's going to be on the and of one and the E of two and the three. Okay, so 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. If we break it apart into 16th notes, that's where it is. So it's on the and of one, the E of two, and the 3. Okay, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Okay, so then coming out of that, groove, we're going to come in on that same A chord within the same measure as da, da, da. Okay, and that big downbeat is a 4. That's the 4. So 1, da, 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 bang. Okay, right there. So it'll be 1, 2, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? So it's on the 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna come hit that big A7 chord. Okay, and I use this chord shape. Okay, later in the tune I'm using this. I just prefer it. Okay, so then we're gonna go down chromatically to F sharp. That's the end of the first section, okay? That's just how we get into the next section, which is the F7 groove for 8 times, okay? The accents there are on the 1, the 1E and of 1, and so the of 1, and the, and the and of 2. Okay, so you'll hear that here, all right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And that's the second. That's the third time. Okay, so now, after playing it 8 times on that big upbeat, okay, we start descending chromatically from A, just the same we did, but the timing is different, okay? So this chromatic section is, we do 4 times descending from A7, okay, and we're going to descend chromatically for 3 half steps down to the F sharp chord, okay, so. And that starts on the and of 3. So let's, if we were going 1, 2, okay, that's going to be 1E and a 2E and a 3, okay? 1E and a 2E and a 3, 1E and a 2E and a 3, 1E and a 2E and a 3, and 1. One of the things that makes learning this piece of music so difficult is that the Dead themselves are screwing up on a lot of the versions, and in particular the version that most of us use as a point of reference is fraught with, it's just loaded with clams, okay? In particular, fills all over the place, and there's a couple of guitar and piano boo-boos in some key places, okay? So it took a lot of research actually to find out what they're trying to play that night at Cornell, which by and large, I mean, they did a commendable job. It's a complicated piece of music, but they definitely have some boo-boos on the version from 5/8/77. So if we're coming out of that F, right? 1, 2, okay. Now the first time they do that on the recording, they actually don't even hit the A7. They're going. Okay, but when you listen to other versions like Pembroke Pines, or even if you source this back to the jam that it stems from, which I believe was recorded in end of July of '75, it was called Bo's Blues. And if you look around, you'll find some outtakes from their studio. Was it Front Studios or something like that, where they're just running this jam over and over and over again. So this wasn't like made up on the spot. This is something they had been using for years, apparently since 1975, and started breaking it out and utilizing it in the middle of the jam to help, I guess, act like a palate cleanser on the way back into Dance in the Streets after that big long 10-minute A7 excursion. Okay, so let's pick up where we left off before I gave you what little history lesson I can give. Okay, so here we are descending 4 times off A7. 1, 2, that's the 3rd, 4th time. Now we're going to go up a whole step 1 time. Another whole step, back a whole step, back a half step. Okay, and that's quite a bit. Okay, we'll cover this ground again, and then I'll show you the back half of it, because the back half gets even wackier. Okay, so let's just call that the chromatic section. Okay, that's where all the jumps are chromatically descending. Okay, it's chromatically descending, that section. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Third, right? Here's our 4th. Up a whole step to B. Up a whole step to C sharp. Down a half step to A. Okay, and now we're going to go to what I consider to be a new pattern. Okay, other than being chromatically descending, this is sutured right onto it, but it's a different intervallic sequence. Okay, but it is a sequence, and this is the one where they typically biff it. Okay, so you'll find people are playing different notes, and because of the nature of the dominant 7th chords, with the highest note being the flat 7, it's easy to think you're playing this when you're really playing this, because the let's say we were doing that B note is ringing out, so people go to that note and play that chord over top of that, and because Phil's making a boo-boo or somebody else is going someplace else on the Cornell tape, this is often poorly executed or transcribed by dead nerds like me. Okay, but I tried really hard for everybody, because this thing is vexing, and I personally want to know what they were trying to do more than what they did do, which is they kind of did a B plus version of this little section, maybe even B minus if I'm being totally cruel. All right, and I love this band, don't get me wrong, but they weren't infallible. Okay, so second section. Okay, after we descend from A down to F sharp. So the second section that's in this bit, okay, what I'm calling the -3 + 1 -3 section. Okay, so that's a minor. We come up to a chord, go down a minor third, up 1, and then down another minor third. That's the sequence. Okay, so coming on the heels of, we jump up to C sharp. Okay, then go back, okay, back. So that's going to jump down a minor third to this A sharp. Okay, then come up a half step to B, and then down another minor third to G sharp 7. Okay, so that would be, when we sutured that onto where we came from, okay, we started out okay, all that to get us to there, okay, to that G sharp. Then we do the exact same sequence that we just did, which is, okay, we're going to do the exact same thing down a whole step. And then back to our F like we did once we came down. Right there. And then we repeat the entire form one more time, which again, they consistently screw up on May 8th. But still awesome, okay? The funk jam's awesome. So by the way, if you're wondering what to do during the funk, the F7 funky thing, so you gotta keep that groove going first, okay? You must keep the groove going first and foremost. So try learning it like that, super simple, and then you can ornament it with the one little lick that I hear, you know, that's really cool is, okay, which is basically just going to be a double stop on the G and E string, okay, going from this F note and its sixth down to the flat 7, which is E flat, and the fifth of the B F7 chord. So like that, whatever you want to do. Okay. Okay, and that happens 8 times, and then we start again with our 1 time, 2 times. That was our 3rd, 4th, and now we go up a whole step to B, up a whole step to C sharp. Back a half step. Okay. And we come up and do our -3 + 1 -3 section. All right. And now we go back to F and we climb chromatically. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Up to A. So from F7 up to A7. Doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. Right? Come on, Alright, and that's pretty much it. So let's try playing along with the loop, which I will include, okay? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. B, C sharp, New section. Chromatically up to A7. And then into the C sharp 7 chord. Okay. Doesn't matter what you wear, just along. Okay, to F sharp minor. Whew. Oh my goodness, this is a long and arduous road to travel, but once memorized, it certainly is fun to set up this little obstacle course. I have a little chart that I've been reading off of that may help you too. If you're interested, you'll find it probably in the description part of this. It may or may not prove helpful. And obviously I'll include a link to this loop so you can practice playing it as well. Remember, it starts on 1, okay? You hear that little bink at the beginning? Boom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, and then all right, so that's how I play and have decoded the snake walk from using the Pembroke Pines, obviously the 5/8/77 recording, and last but not least, doing a little archival work and checking out that Front Street demo they did of Bo's Blues. Check it out. You'll find it online, and if you just do a search for Bo's Blues Dancing in the Street Bridge or something like that. So maybe you'll find it circa 1975. All right. I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope everybody enjoyed the kind of focus on Dancing in the Streets for the last couple of lessons. It's definitely a compelling and wonderful song, and I really had a great time learning it, and maybe I'll get a chance to play it in my band coming up soon. I'm hoping we can start gigging soon, and now that this COVID thing is kind of given way here, and I can start rehearsing and playing with people in a responsible manner here in the New York area. All right, thank you very much. My name is Jack Devine, if you didn't know, and thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Jacksnax. And there it is. I guess subscribe, like, share, whatever you want to do. If you want to contact me for lessons, obviously you just reach out to me via jack_devine@hotmail.com. All right, hang loose, and I'll see you around. Cheers.